Hello, Mark. So what have you been up to for 20 years?
So welcome to another one of Chris Nugent Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing T2 Trainspotting, which is a sequel to the 1996 film Trainspotting. This is directed by Danny Boyle, written by Irvine Welsh, starring Ewan McGregor, Ewen Bremner, Jonny Lee Miller and Robert Carlyle. The film is set 20 years after the first, which is in Edinburgh again, highlighting where the characters' lives are 20 years after the events of the first film. So we see where Mark, Spud, Begbie and Sick Boy have all ended up in life, and see whether they've progressed, whether they've prospered or they've gone back or where they are, and that's where the story starts off. Now there was a couple of things I did like about the film, such as the chemistry between the characters was still there. There was something that was very strong in the first film and this carried through into the second, and it did make for enjoyable watching. There was great work with the soundtrack. As always when watching a Danny Boyle film, the soundtrack is an area of strength in his films, and this film didn't disappoint. It also used some of the songs from the first film, only remixed and rehashed, and also blended in with some scene transitions. Danny Boyle's direction uses scene transitions in a very unique way, and he did so again with this in combination with the soundtrack, so I thought it worked to great effect. The cinematography, as always, was very impressive. Danny Boyle's films tend to have a track record of excellent cinematography, and this film didn't disappoint. Really showed how Edinburgh has moved on and modernised since the events of the first film, but also did reflect some of the grittiness of the poor areas where they did know that gentrification has forgotten or hasn't quite arrived. Now, even though this being a sequel, it didn't overly rely on the first. There were great nodbacks to the first one. One memorable scene was when Ewan McGregor walked into the toilet and looked at pure disgust at one of the unusable cubicles. Nice little nod there. But as I said, there were flashbacks and maybe references, but they weren't overly used, and they weren't used to progress the story. They were more used just to anchor you towards the first one and maybe give you an idea what the character was thinking, but again wasn't solely contingent on that particular flashback or reference. And maybe as well to give the fans just a little nod back and give them a fond memory of the first one. Now, even though I enjoyed the film, there were a couple of things I didn't like, such as I thought the pacing at times was a little bit too slow. Some of the scenes could have done with been shortened up a little bit. Now that's not to say I was bored, but there were times when, as I said, they could have shortened the scene to progress the story and it wouldn't have affected the overall storyline. I found the story at times was too diverse. It seemed to stray away from a central story arc and diversified into each of the characters' own subplots. Now that was enjoyable to a degree, but I felt it did it a little bit too much and took away from the main overriding story. So overall I enjoyed the film, something I'd definitely watch again. Now it wasn't as good as the first, but being a sequel and something I was looking forward to for a long time, it did not disappoint, and as I said, it would be a film I'd definitely watch again, and I would recommend others to go and see it. So thanks again for taking the time to watch one of my reviews, and if you want to keep up to date with any more reviews or new videos being posted, just click below to subscribe, and if you did enjoy the video, feel free to click like below. I'd very much appreciate it. Cheers.